Okay, here's the front of our garden. We have our arch with grapes lined with raspberries on each side. Over here to the right, we have our beehives, purple raspberries and flowers in this box here, and our lovely sitting bench and hose and things. Over here to the left, we have our peach trees and then apple trees, and then our trellis and boxes. We have sunflowers, usually they're along the road. So we're gonna go straight through the grapes here. We've spent the morning trimming our raspberries and our trees. There's more raspberries here. And then more raspberries on this side. I trimmed those 2 raspberries last fall, but I did not get these close-up ones, these closer ones to the entrance before winter hit. So there's a closer up view of our trees. Peach tree closer, apple tree further away. And we'll continue here through our raspberries. We've got our frisbee golf for the winter hidden here in the middle of the garden. We usually plant flowers here in these smaller boxes, and then more raspberries. And we have here, and back up a bit, these here are, oh gosh, I'll have to look them up. They're like cold hardy blueberries, but they're not blueberries at all. I have one on each side. There's more raspberries and another smaller, and then our rabbits. We'll go up a little bit further here. I'll give you another look this way. That is a plum tree. We have our 3 beehives that made it that are covered there. That blue one in the back did not make it even at the end of summer, so it was gone. And then we have back there behind the blue one we just planted today, I think an apricot tree. And then in that tomato is another one of these blueberry type bushes, and then back there that you can hardly see right there is an aronia bush. Okay, and then we have our boxes here. We'll continue forward. I did not clean up the tomatoes before winter hit, so we've got tomatoes, but all of the other boxes are cleaned out. We have our compost back there, strawberries in the small round containers that you see, and then we usually do corn or squash in this wide big bed there. And I'm still here in the middle. See, we've got 2 more boxes here. The boxes, the end of our boxes along the side of the road with the trellis. We do have at the end of this row a Juliet cherry bush right here. And then this is a black currant bush that I also am just realizing now that I need to trim. And then I have white and red currant bushes also along there. It's hard to see since they're not blossoming yet. Got 4 boxes there, 2 boxes along the back, and then those strawberries. We also do have a little bit of asparagus planted back here in these round ones. It has not done so well. So there are the strawberries. And then in these end ones I have asparagus, but they've not been great. They just get less and less each year. And then along the back we have grapes. Along that trellis there, I think I have 3 that have survived, 3 grape plants. Here in the corner I have a small tart cherry tree. And here's another different view. Along the side there are the currant bushes. We usually, like I said, have strawberries along this back part. We'll do a pan around here. You can see we're on the corner. And then we'll keep all the way here to the back. There's our grapes, our wood pile. And then back there is another bush I can't remember the name of. It has not done super well because it needs more shade and it is in full sun all day long. But it does produce some kind of berry. Saskatoon, that's the word, Saskatoon. And there's a more other general name for it, but so you can see our tomatoes we need to pull out. Okay, there's all of our strawberries. They're starting to green up in there a little bit, but we do need to clean them out. You can see some green in there. It's another look at our middle bed that we usually plant squash and corn in, and then our 3 beds there at the end. There are some beds. We'll walk back this way so you can see the beds that are on the outside here. We've got our fire pit in our backyard. We have some smaller beds here at the end. There's another view of our bunny area. We'll go look closer at the bees too. So we've got these for, I just had flowers in them last year for Abby's wedding, but we'll see what we do. And then another look at that Saskatoon bush. I'll have to look at the name. Then let's walk over here and see, we have our lilacs. I have 5 lilacs, one here at the end with 2 pear trees. And we're trying Espalier with our pears. So we just started training them last year. This is how far we got last year. And this one is growing way too high, but we need some more branches to come off of it to finish that. So, and then this one did not get too long of a branches. It was a little bit more stunted, but I can see that there are buds on it already, so it should be fine. Let's see if it'll better focus. So we can start training that one this year. Then 3 more lilac bushes here in the middle. Oh look, they're budding out already really beautifully. Look at that. First signs of spring. And then these are our apple trees that we are training. This one had a lot more start to grow off of it, so it needs some trimming. And so does this one. Apples were growing pretty good, and then we have another lilac and our shed. Okay, let's go back and check out the bees. I have a few flowers over there on that side, and then some peonies and herbs. There, now you can see peonies, herbs, my planters. And then in that last one there, next to the red bucket, I planted blackberries last year. We'll see how those come back this year. This is also a plum tree right here. And there's the bunnies. They're in just this long kennel. Needs to be cleaned out from winter. We've got this tube that goes in there, so they've got shelter back in here. This is a close-up of the plum. There's the aronia bush. Get you oriented. And here's our bees. 1, 2, dead by the end of summer. And 3 right here. And then here's the little tree we planted today. Oh, the bees are starting to fly. Little, I think it's apricot. Let's check. Yeah. That's what we planted today. We had a cherry tree right there that died. So we're hoping we have a spot for one more hive here. We're hoping we'll get a swarm and fill our hive so we have 5 hives. That would be amazing. But looks like they're starting to fly a little bit. Starting to warm up. And so here's the view. That's where we entered right there. There's a broad view of the garden.